Breaking Chains. Breaking Chains. Breaking Chains is a show that will break generational curses.
It's Speak the Truth. It's Speak the Truth with Young Adults Talk, a speak up and speak out radio show with a mission of speaking the truth, God's truth. Everything about us is in our instruction manual of God's Word. So join us as we speak the truth with Young Adults Talk.
Good evening, everyone. You are listening to Breaking Chains. Today is Monday, April 11th, and we have a great show lined up for you this evening. We are going to be talking about inside the schools. What's really going on? We hear about certain things, but we're going to hear from some of our youth and let you see what's going in the schools from their perspective. Before we go any further, we're going to start our show out with prayer. So everyone with listening ears, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us allow to be in your presence again. Thank you for allowing us to wake up this morning. Thank you for all your mercies and your blessings that you've bestowed upon us. Lord, thank you for allowing us to be in our right minds. Thank you for allowing us to renew our minds every day, to die unto ourselves, Lord, so that we could be servants, useful for your purpose that you created us, Lord. Lord, I just want to say thank you for this radio show. Thank you for the people who are listening. And just let it be a tool, Lord, so that it can help people, Lord, because we are here to only serve you. Lord, I truly thank you and humbly thank you for blessing my family. I thank you for my husband. I thank you for our ministry, our children, our families, Lord. Lord, I just pray that this broadcast, that you just have your way with it, Lord. Lord, I ask that you take ourselves out of it and let people just use it for the good, Lord. We ask these and all blessings in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. Before we get into the show and I introduce our team co-hosts, I am going to play a song. What am I going to play? Got something. I want to go back to my man, MJ, Man in the Mirror. You're listening to Breaking Chains, and we'll be right back.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street, but not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A son of disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man show. They follow each other on the window, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no, nothing's gonna stand in
welcome back. You're listening to Breaking Chains. Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson. That is a powerful, powerful song. Look at the man in the mirror if you want to change the world. Meaning, stop pointing the finger at everybody else. You know, take the log out of your own eye instead of looking at the speck in your brother's eye. That's a very powerful message. The late, great Michael Jackson. Thank you if you just tuned in. We are talking about inside the schools, what's really going on. There's a lot of things happening, you know, with teachers, testing, I don't know, the social cliques and groups. So tonight we're just going to have a little inside look. We're going to have our co-host. We have Miss Naya on the phone. How are you doing this evening,
Hello.
Naya?
Fine.
And we have well, that's good. I haven't seen you in so long. How have you been?
I've been good. How about yourself?
I've been great. That's one of those jokes, corny jokes. But we have another co-host who will be joining us on the air a little later on. But I wanted to talk about what's really going on in the schools from the team's perspective. I mean, we have different measurements as far as test scores, and we see broadcasts, you know, on the news about what's happening in the schools. We read newspaper articles, and I think it's very important to have the insight from the students, because in order to help change and break curses, we need to hear from all parties involved. We can't fix everything without having the input and the knowledge from our youth that are in this school system. And this is something that, you know, we really want to talk about and discuss. So once again, Naya, thank you for joining us. And if anyone out there wants to call in with any comments or suggestions during the show, the number is 858-357-9137. Once again, that number is 858-357-9137. And with that being said, we are going to jump in. So I want to start talking about, let's say, the teachers at the school. I know you're in high school. Naya, what grade are you in?
The 10th.
The 10th grade, sophomore. How do you feel as far as at your school? And you don't have to name the school. We're not trying to put anyone on blast. But what's happening at your school is indicative of what's going on in a lot of other public schools, high schools throughout the country. So, like I said, it's not about putting your school on blast, but just about what's happening in our schools in general. And I'm just glad you can share that. So, as far as the teachers are concerned, how good of a job do you feel that they're doing as far as with your education right now as a sophomore?
Well, so far, I think that some teachers, like, they try to teach students, but some students, it take away the learning environment on how some students don't want to learn and how some other students do want to learn. So it's just a mix-up on, like, they don't know how to teach the class because some people don't learn as quick as others. So we have to take steps back and just sometimes give the teacher a hard time. So, like, some students might be, like, behind when they could be past the lessons we have learned. And, like the teachers, I feel that they do a good job teaching, some teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they do it to the best of their ability, but some teachers, I feel like some teachers, they just don't care. They just want their money. That's how I feel about some teachers.
What made you feel that way about a teacher, that you feel they were just there to get their money? What made you feel that?
Because some teachers, like, how, like, if some students act up, then it just, like, it makes them feel like they just want to quit sometimes. And they know children's going to act up our age. It's just 10th grade. So if they know that this is how, like, not just blacks, any kind of race or whatever, it's just they know how we're going to act. So I feel that they should already know that they need to have, like, patience with us. They need to know how to calm themselves down. And it's like they don't know how to do that. So it's just like they just quit and let us do what we want to do instead of trying to make us learn, push us. So it's just like they always say, oh, I don't need I already got my education. I feel that, like, what's the point of saying you got your education? You supposed to be teaching us. Like, it just feel like that's the main thing teachers push in students' face. I got my education. I'm making my money. It just, that's all they push in our face when we're doing something bad. So I feel like, why do they say that? So I just feel like they just want their money. Some teachers just don't care sometimes.
That's very true. That's very true. Now, I know earlier you said that, the disruptive students could be a problem for the teachers who honestly may want to teach. What happens to the students that are disruptive? Like, what type of discipline procedures are in place? Like, what happens to the disruptive students?
It's like they give them, like, multiple times, like, it could be suspension, 2 days they come back. It could be a call for the parents. Some parents don't do nothing, so I feel like, okay, that could be a warning to the parents and the students, but I just feel like if you feel that the student don't really want to be there and always causing disruptions in the classroom, I feel that they should just, send them off somewhere else or to another classroom, or just make sure they, like, talk it out with them. It's just they always just let them get multiple chances. And I feel like everybody don't need that many chances because they're going to keep doing the same thing. Like, I feel like if you do it one time, then you go do it again. If you don't understand that side, then you go do it again. So why keep getting them many times to make up for what they already did?
It's funny you should say that, because one thing that I have noticed as far as a difference, I can say in some schools, is the discipline. And I always wonder, like, why does the student get 10,000 chances? And I know that, students come from different backgrounds. There's some things and issues they have to deal with at home. But we also enable our children to be disruptive and to not follow the rules when we don't have the same expectations. And I think that's a problem where you think you're helping the child, but many times we do them a disservice by allowing them to act up 3, 4, 5 times because they won't take discipline serious. And if you're in an environment, as far as something as important as education is, and it's not being given that respect at a minimum, it's an ongoing cycle. And it's not fair to the students who want to learn and do better, because you're holding the whole class up for something that's disruptive. And I really feel the discipline system needs to be fixed in a lot of schools. I know you have in-school suspension, and there's a process, but I really, really feel that it needs to be, looked at again. It could be something better, because some students act up just to go to in-school suspension, just to get out of the classroom, and it's going to take more than just the students. It's going to take the parents getting involved. You have some parents who don't care. You can call them 10,000 times, and they'll say, and I know this because I've heard it myself, I'm not coming up there. Don't call me anymore if they're acting up. Oh, well, whatever. And that's it. But, at the same time, is the education, is everyone else's education, at the expense of someone else's bad behavior? And that's something really to think about. So I really, really thank you for shedding some light on that subject. So what's going on in your school, Miss Naya? Of course you can.
Oh, ma'am. I was going to ask, like, as a child needs discipline, like at school, if they keep doing the same thing over and over, and it seems like they just not learning no discipline at home or, like, at school to give respect to the environment at school, like, what should be the discipline they should get, like, for them, like, how many chances should they get? Like, that's like, how many chances should they get to, like, keep doing the same thing if they not understanding that they holding up everyone else by what they're doing.
Well, see, there's different factors now. There's something right now. You have how many chances should they get, and even now it's how many chances do they get. I want to address first the how many chances they get as of right now. It's not an exact number, but the problem in a lot of schools now, and I'm not sure if you know or not, a lot of times money that schools get is tied to the amount of students that you have. It sometimes is tied to the amount of students that are in a special type of program or studying a certain type of curriculum. And it looks bad on a school, you know, regardless if the student deserves it, ultimately it looks like you have a discipline problem. If a school has, say, 20 students suspended in a day, that it looks like, okay, this is a problem school. If you get labeled as a problem school, parents aren't going to want to send their kids to a problem school. You see how it starts to take on a negative image? And many times principals don't want that. And sometimes, that influences on how many times they'll give a student. And, so personally how I feel, I think the same offense, sometimes I think you need to look at it at an individual basis. That's how I would like it in a perfect world, but realistically, you have to treat everyone the same, So I think that too many chances are given to students, not just for discipline, but it's been so many times, and maybe this is just a case in Georgia, where students turn in work late, and they get 10,000 chances to turn it in. It's like you're not teaching them the importance of deadlines, just stuff like that. I know in one of the schools you can do your homework, you have like homework detention or something. It's just the weirdest stuff I just don't get. And it was meant, I think the intentions were good, but the outcome is not helping our students. And when our students get ready to go to college, they don't know how to fend for themselves. They don't know how to have that discipline and study. They don't know how to do it themselves, So I really think that that's something that it just needs to be looked at, differently. Thank you. You're listening to Breaking Chains. We have our other co-host who has just joined us. Good evening, Miss Sherelle. How are you?
Hello. I'm a bit tired.
Okay. Just so you know, your phone signal is going a little bit in and out, so it may be a little difficult to hear you just in case, all right? But we are talking about inside the schools, what's really going on. And we just started off talking with Naya about teachers and disruptive students and the discipline problems and what are some things that teachers or rather schools can do. Because many times it's not fair to the students who are not acting up, to be subjected to, pauses in the teaching because someone's just acting crazy. So that's what we just started talking about. And what about the testing, you guys? You guys have end of course testing and the graduation test?
We already took that. Well, I already took it for math too. I got
so how do you feel this? Okay, you have to take your EOCT test. And, in Georgia, they're actually starting to phase out the graduation test, which I'm personally happy about. And they're going to start using the EOC test. I think they're phasing out all of it except the writing portion of it, which I think is great. But as far as the teachers preparing you, do you feel that, you've learned or are learning the content for the test? Like when you start to take these tests?
I feel like for our math class, it wasn't a trouble class, but like we missed so many days because of the weather and whatnot. We really didn't have enough time to learn most of it, and our first unit took like forever to learn. So I feel like it wasn't enough time, and like the last little bit, he had to push it like real fast. Like we probably learned, like our first unit we learned in like a month. Our second, third, and fourth unit we had to learn in like some days.
Wow. Some days?
It's like, probably for like, I remember our 5th unit on the eyes, we had to learn it in like 3 days, and we had to have it down pat. Because the end of the course test is like, it's really not in the end of the course. It's like in the middle of the course. It's right after midterm. So I feel like, why is it the end of the course test if it's not going to be at the end of the course? And after we took the test, we still was learning more stuff that was on the test that we probably got wrong, or some of us just guessed on it.
Wow. And that's something, that you're guessing on a test. I think that's, wow. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Naya.
Oh, you keep going. No, man.
No, honey, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, since I'm taking math now, me and Sherelle had the same teacher. And, like, with our class, it just back to the discipline. But, like, we have units, and we have okay, we have to do 1 unit, and it might take 2 weeks. But then, like, when you get to maybe the 4th unit, we got to, like, squeeze all 4th unit, 5th unit, and 6th unit together maybe in by, like, 3 weeks. And I think we take our EOCT on May the 3rd, and we haven't even, like, got to Unit 6 yet. I think we're still on Unit 4. And he just, like, he can't teach because of the discipline. Like, well, not the discipline, but, like, the bad behavior in the class. So, like, we learning, but I'm not learning like I would want to. Like, I'm not getting all the information in like I want to. So
and you think you could learn more if it weren't for the discipline problems in the classroom?
Yeah.
Let me ask you all this. The discipline problems, do you think it's on the teacher? Do some teachers have different teaching styles where, is it the teacher or is it most of the time just that student, period, regardless of what class they're in?
Well, I think it's not the teacher because, like my advisor teacher said, I got to adjust to my teachers, and my teachers got to learn how to adjust to me. So they got to learn how I am, and I got to learn how they are, and I got to just respect that. But so I feel like it's really the student's fault. It's not the teacher's fault that's their method of teaching. But, like, and then they probably even tried to change it up a little bit to help the students, and the students still acting a fool. Like, but in my math class, we was in the quote-unquote challenge class, so we had higher expectations, and it was only, like, 6 of us in the class, 6 or 7 of us in the class. So we really didn't have discipline problems. So, but everybody in the class said he was boring, even though he was a good teacher, like, as a teacher, but as a person, he was boring. He talks slow and everything. So I really feel like it's the child's responsibility to adjust to their teachers, because when they go to college, they're not going to be able to tell their professor, I don't like the way you're teaching. They're just going to have to adjust to it.
Right. That's very true. And that's what we were talking about earlier, those, expectations and just the discipline. You won't get treated the same way when you get into, the real world, when you start taking, college classes or, vocational classes, just outside of high school. That's a very good point. Very good point. You know what? It is 9:26 right now. We're going to take a break. I'm going to play another song. This is a good conversation. We're just getting started, ladies. I am going to play a song. It's called Make War by Tadashi. You're listening to Breaking Chains, and we'll be right back.
I hear so many Christians murmuring about their imperfections and their failures and their addictions and their shortcomings, and I see so little war. Murmur, murmur, murmur. Why am I this way? Make war!
Bang with me for bang, bang for bang with me. Never playing games, like 'cause the thing can get risky. So main in Christ, wake up. You cross quickly. Feel it's on the front line, time to come with it. Hey, do the right thing, wake up and let's get it. I ain't even in the ring, they throwing bones like Riddick. Persistently attacking me, they even in the back of me. It's either fight or lose my life, and I can't take this passively. What you think I'm about to do? I'm about to do what I can do. Trust the one who got me through and fight like it was after school. Never giving up, steady standing on the battlefield. Feet firm to the ground like I stepped on Chapel Hill. Flesh feeling frisky, seeing persuasion tempts me. Satan cheers me on, guilt followed by conviction. It's the same old trap where we fall like we defenseless. Innocence is flowing with them, stand firm and be relentless. Cause sin never sleeps, it's got me in a trance. You can see it in my dreams. Man, I beat my flesh to the death every breath like I beat my chest. Sun up, sun down, time in, time out. Against lust, against pride, against greed. Let me get down. What happened to you when he died? When that tomb got rolled, when he rolled in the sky? I think we emphasize sin so much, should've makes us paralyzed. And glorify struggle so much, should've makes us terrified. Emphasize the fact that we have been sterilized from our own lives and the guys that they never wise. We gotta snap out of it. We ain't in no straight jacket. When Jesus died in our lives, something straight happened. He gave us power. Yeah, I know that we sinners, but since he rose, he's renewing the image of God in us now. We gotta start making war. Now we can start saying no to the fleshly impulses that Jesus was repaying. Now we can start taking the lead just like the Dalai Lama and start going all out just like a suicide bomber. Whatever the sin is, we gotta go hard. If I break, no time to waste. It's just like that. Cause sin never sleeps. It's got me in a trance. You can see it in my dreams. Man, I beat my flesh to the death every breath like I beat my chest. Sun up, sun down, time in, time out. Against lust, against pride, against greed, till I die. I'm a Christ representative. I've been ascending to a lot of my believers struggle, but they are dead. I dropped this on the A-Day just so you could come play back. A hint to be encouraged that rocks it with you from way back. Listen to it ASAP, like you do a great track. I'm spitting written visions and put on heads like a wake up. Sinning now we don't play that. That's the way that a slave back. I'm filled with the spirit and tell them that this is payback. You begin to copy the carbon copies of Christ. Conform to his written image, you should be shining the light. Now you not, why is that? It's your status and gripping you cause you scared they'll be dissing you. Flipping birds while they spitting you. If you not, why is that? It don't matter, so pump it. Perfect love cast out there and he ain't save us for nothing. This is a privilege. Your life to give to him. So stand firm for him, dog, and let's get it in. Cause sin never sleeps. It's got me in a trance. You can see it in my dreams. Man, I beat my flesh to the death every breath like I beat my chest. Sun up, sun down, time in, time out. Against lust, against pride, against greed, till I die.
Breaking Chains. Breaking Chains. Breaking Chains is a show that will break generational curses that are holding our youth in bondage. It's freedom time. Freedom time. You're now listening to Breaking Chains with your host, Nikki Williams.
Welcome back. You are listening to Breaking Chains. It is April 11th. Gorgeous, gorgeous summer evening. I don't know, we're in the spring. We ain't in the summer yet. Ooh, I'm ahead of myself. If you just joined us, we're talking about inside the schools. What's really going on? You know, we just talked about with our co-hosts, our team co-hosts, teachers, and some discipline issues. I want to welcome back on the air. We have Miss Sherelle. Say hello.
Hi.
We have Miss Naya. Say hello.
Hello.
And joining us, we have Mr. Denzel. Say hello to the people, Denzel.
Hello, people.
All right. You know what? We're back from the break, and I want to let you all take over. What are some things that you all want to talk about inside the schools that you feel needs attention that us adults need to hear about? The floor is yours.
Maya, you have anything? Yes, I have. I want to talk about uniforms at school.
Uh-oh.
Any school, just uniforms.
Okay. What's wrong with uniforms? Tell me.
School uniforms, it's just like they always want us to wear, like go around with a big old logo that, like, they have our school name on it. It's like we have other places to go, and they want us to spend all this money on some T-shirts with a school logo that we don't want on there. So, like, I just don't understand why all this money for some shirts. What if our parents don't have the money for this? Well, we don't have the money. Then what we gonna wear? And they always send us, like, to ISS just for uniforms. Or they'll just send us. I don't understand. Like, I feel that we at school for education, not the way we dress. I did not never know that when we go to school, we gotta be looked up and down for uniforms every day. Like, what's so important about it? I thought we were supposed to be going to school to learn.
Well,
I just have a big problem with uniforms.
You guys, let me give you my 2 cents. The reasons that you just said really are the reasons why they have uniforms, because parents don't have a lot of money. It actually costs more money to not buy uniforms for kids as opposed to buying uniforms. I don't know if you guys realize that. But, you know, if your parents spend money on the shirts and some, you get some khaki pants or something, it's actually throughout the school year a much cheaper cost for the parents. And because you're supposed to be in school focusing on your education, from my understanding, that's why a lot of schools have adopted uniforms, so you can focus on your education and not worry about what you're wearing today. If you have the latest type of shoes, you have to wear the same, shirt, every other day. It's things like that to take the focus off of the clothes. Because especially in high school, people are discriminated against because of what type of clothes they're wearing. So that's something to think about. What do you guys think about?
I understand it, but why would they send you to in-school suspension over a uniform? It's like they take away your class time when you're supposed to be in class learning stuff, and they took you away for a uniform you have on clothes. Like, you're supposed to be learning right then and there, and they just took you out of class.
I understand that, but I also understand you have a choice, though, right? You have a choice whether or not to be in uniform or not be in uniform. You don't.
No.
When you decide to put your clothes on, I'm saying that, I don't know, don't you have a choice as to be in uniform or not, meaning by, when you dress yourself in the morning?
Yeah, but it really, I don't think it's a fair choice, because if we choose to wear a uniform, it's like we not gonna feel good in it, comfortable in it. But if we don't wear a uniform and we feel comfortable, we don't get in trouble for it. So it's really not a choice, as long as you want to be in school, because they suspend you over not wearing a uniform. They put you in ISS. They give you detention, like unnecessary causes. And even if your mama called them and tell them that she was not able to wash or this and that, they don't care. But I just don't see the point of wearing uniforms, and like, it's so stupid, because I feel like if one academy gonna wear it, every academy should wear it. See, like CAD, they don't gotta wear their shirts. and law, they don't got to wear their shirts. And, like, we can't wear ripped jeans, but Cat can. And we got to, and law can dress up any kind of way they want, but when we dress up, it don't got to be white and black. I feel like it's discrimination. And I feel like they all need to get together and decide on one uniform. Because, like, even if we have on a college shirt, they say, what school on it? It's still a college school name on it. I be ready to write the school name on it at the time. I'm not going to go pay $9, $10 to get one of my shirts.
Okay, so let me ask you all this. Since uniforms are a problem for you all, what can you do about it? Or what have you tried to do, or what would you like to do about it?
Well, not I personally, but I signed a petition for us to stop wearing uniforms, or on Fridays, at least give us a whole day off without wearing uniforms. So on Friday, we can wear jeans that can't be ripped, or they can't have, like, and we got to have a school shirt on. But everybody else walking around with just everything else on, and I feel like it's not fair.
So do you think that not wearing a uniform is causing a disruption in the classroom?
Yes, and that's causing a more disruption. Half the people not by the rules, half the people going to butt the system, and they're going to wear what they want. And it's away from our time of learning, also, just not being like a personal matter, but like a professional matter. It's taken away from time for learning because the teacher stuck out for a good 20 minutes. We only got 88 minutes in each class, so 20, 30 minutes just addressing half the class of uniforms, and we just lost 30 minutes of learning stuff. Like, they asked us why we don't know half this stuff, because time every day, 30 minutes out of every day, not teaching us some addressing uniforms, and like other schools that have this problem, so other people why it's so, but we even have the equal opportunity to learn because they be addressing other problems like behavior and uniform and crazy issues.
And let me ask you all this, and, I guess I honestly see it from both sides, but I'm also looking at, I know earlier in the show, Naya and I were discussing, how the disruption can lead to other students not learning. But it seems that the expectations, I guess there's always going to be some type of rule, especially in school, that has to be followed, whether you agree with it or not. And you won't be able to do things that are pleasing to everyone, even something as far as the uniforms, because just like the students who don't wear the uniforms, why should you succumb to someone who doesn't want to follow the rules? Now, my question is, I'm not saying that every rule is correct, but I think the rule needs to be looked at for what it is and just realize that sometimes people buck the system just to buck the system. And that also teaches something at that age where I don't have to follow any type of authority or order. Because, in the Bible it says we're supposed to follow the laws of the land. And, as long as they are in line with God's word. And it's like the things that you are being asked to do, and this is what I ask you all to look at when you're faced with, these type of issues. Is this rule, in school, is it something that is taking away from my learning? Is it taking away from me being the person God created me to be? And that's being honest. Something is that simple. You wearing that uniform, is it honestly, I know what you like to look fly, the hat is, wear that, wear your purple. I know y'all like purple, okay, I get it. Does it really, 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 I'm sorry, Aunt Pink, not you, Denzel, not you, brother, but does it really get in the way of your education?
I don't think so, because they take a lot of time, like I said earlier, they take a lot of time addressing who don't got on. I mean, I'm not expected to get praised for wearing uniforms every day because I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But they take out the time, like I think they should pull out people early in the morning just say everybody who don't got a uniform don't even come into school if they are going to wear uniform. And I think it should be equal so everybody, because like my brother don't have to wear uniform, but so it just made me feel like, dang, I really want to switch academies, but I personally don't have the time with the uniforms. See how and different stuff, and this is confusing when you go out washing or I'm shop for our clothes, who buy who or which to buy which.
So it's not so much for you, Sherelle, the uniform, but maybe how it's enforced. You're saying it could be enforced better.
Yeah.
Like when they first come in, like do a uniform check instead of waiting until they go into the classroom.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that can be done better. But also realize that people, students go to the bathroom and change and take stuff off and put stuff on, and it may be a consistent thing. You guys hold on. We have a caller on the air. Thank you for calling in to Breaking Change. You're on the air.
Hey, Miss Nikki, how are ya?
This is Mr. D-Rock.
How's it going?
Hey,
How's
David,
everybody
I'm sorry. Doing good.
Well, I just wanted to say this to the young ladies that is on the phone. I just wanted to encourage you guys is that, I'm out of high school, and, here in Mobile, Alabama, they are very strict when it comes down to uniforms. Mm-hmm. And the reason why, Miss Nikki, is that, because they have here in Alabama is that they have to, for what I've heard and understand is that they have, to identify who the kids are, because just like you said, is that, you have some people go to the bathroom and change clothes and, do this and do that, but at the same time, what now is going to kind of shock you out the water. But I don't know if they do this in Georgia or not, but they have, name tags now to identify who the students are. But, I wish, and I can just relate to you guys too as well. I wish we can have our own, regular clothes, but at the same time, they want to keep you guys safe in the school system.
That's a good point,
and they want,
safety.
And they want to, what I'm saying, because it doesn't matter how, how the law is or what it is or whatever. If that's the policy is, that's just the policy is. Because I know when I was growing up, I know I can't help but to wear a uniform, And I was like, some days I'm like, well, you know what? I don't want to wear the uniform today, but I got to. But then at the same time, we're like, if we want to obey, if we want to be obedient to God, we have to be in that obedience. To be obeying His word, and that's like we have to submit ourselves to our teachers. We have to submit ourselves to the people that's surrounding us, because we don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. And I can just think back how my godfather always instilled that in me, is that we want to show respect towards one another, and this, things like that's what goes on. But at the same time, Ms. Nikki, is that, we have some teenagers now, they just don't care. They just don't care how they look. They just don't care how they come into class or, disrespect this and, disrespect their teachers. But what about, other people that are feeling, that you got some people out here that don't have, no uniform. They come to school any kind of way. So we have to show, ladies, we have to show other students respect. So that's one thing I really wanted to point out, and just to encourage you guys, man, continue with you guys' education, because education can take you a long way. Education can get you into colleges and other things that's like that, because, me as being a father and, with my beautiful daughter that I have, I want her to have an education, and I want to make sure that she gets the full benefits.
That's right. Thank you so much for sharing those words of wisdom, Mr. Damon. Definitely appreciate that. And,
no problem.
Something that you just thank you, Mr. G. Rock. And, I just want to add that in the work, these are distractions. The enemy comes to us in different ways. And
right.
a distraction, can come in the way of oh, I don't want to wear this uniform or this and that. And when it comes down to it, it's affecting your view on education. It really is.
Right.
It's saying I don't want to come to school because I don't want to wear this, when your focus shouldn't even be on your clothes. It really shouldn't.
Right.
Ladies, I know how you feel about these uniforms, but your focus is not on that because the enemy knows how important education is. You know, education is very important. You know, in the Bible, it talks about the importance of having education. You know, in Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, and you will not be a priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of God, I will get thy children. That's saying that if people disregard what's in the Word of God and reject that knowledge, their children will also be rejected.
That's right. And you know, and that gets to the story. You remember the story how Moses, when he hit that rock, you know, because if you read as you read in the story, you know, Moses had an attitude problem, and you know, and the reason why he hit that rock is that, you know, he disobeyed God, and he disobeyed the promises that what God had in store for them. And you know, and that's just like us. When we in school, we have an attitude towards our teachers. We get an attitude of our the people that's surrounding us, and that's what we miss on. You know, that people just be so disrespectful towards students. But we as Christians, we have to show that walk, a daily walk, every day.
Right. And my young people that are on the phone, this is to give you a solution to what you're dealing with, because as of right now, you have to wear uniforms to school. But I just want you all to understand that it's even deeper than just the clothes. It's about getting you all in a certain mindset of being obedient and following order. Do you all understand that?
I understand. But like I said, I really don't have a problem with wearing a uniform because it's just professional. It makes everybody look uniformed and neat.
Uniform.
It's just how it's enforced, how the teachers and the principals enforce the rules, and they really say different things for different academies, even though in one school.
Right, and Damon, so you know, in Atlanta, the public schools are set up into smaller schools, meaning you can have one building but have 3 or 4 separate schools in that one building. They each have their own principal. Everything is separate. Even though they're physically in the same building, they'll share the same sports teams and maybe the band, but everything else is separate. So what happens is if this school is more lenient on the dress code, the school that's on the floor or the wing downstairs, you know, may be more strict. And you have students looking at, well, land, it's not being enforced at that school. So I absolutely agree with Sherelle that it can be enforced better and more consistently than what it has been or what it is.
Right.
You know.
Right. Because I know, there's being, enforcing, because some people can take it to the extreme, and some people can be very mean and cruel to these students. Oh, you have to do this, you got to do that. If you don't do this, then I'm going to, tell this and tell that. But at the same time, I feel like, if the teachers can be more consistently with these students, I think they will have I think the students will have a more understanding, because they're looking at them. And, as far as like enforcing the laws and stuff like that, like I was listening to you earlier, it can be, if it's true or not or whatever, but some teachers just don't care, and some of them just really just talk about these students so bad it just get to the point like they don't even want to come back anymore.
Absolutely. And there are things that, being in the school every day, walking through the halls that I witness, from the adults that, it's just mind-boggling to me how adults get into the field of service, and especially with our youth, and they don't have the right intention, the right heart for it. And it is there to just collect a paycheck. And that's something that, we all have to really, pray them out of those positions. And more importantly, say something. If we hear another adult who is being wrong to a child, we as adults have to step up and say something and stop keeping quiet. You know,
that's right.
the kids on the phone will testify. I always tell them, I will support them as long as they are in the right. As long as they're doing right, I can go to bat for you. But when you get into the disrespect and other things, that's something else. You pretty much on your own with that. So, that's something that we have to really, really look at. The state of our teachers who don't care. And that's who we don't want in our school systems. Wow, just enjoying the conversation, you guys.
Right. I mean, you ladies on the phone. What do you see yourself? You guys want to. What are kind of changes that you guys wanted to make, as far as being young ladies and and setting an example for other young ladies that's surrounding you. What are some of the things that you want to change or that you want to see change?
I just want to see, most young ladies to look like decent sometimes, because someone just come out the house looking like, I don't know what to say, but they just, okay, nah. I don't know how to say it, but, they don't carry themselves in a well manner. They don't respect themselves. So that's what I like for them to change, to at least come decent with some kind of respect for themselves.
And I would like to change for these people to stop just throwing on the shirt they keep wearing every day and let it be neat and clean, and don't have your buttons all unbuttoned and button your buttons to the top, because it really look neat and clean. And it really look good when you make it that's why I don't got no problem, because we could throw on my skinny leg khakis or my skinny leg whites or my skinny leg black jeans and put on a collar shirt and button it up. It looks real neat. But some people just go in their locker, they wear the things, and they're like, I don't know what, and they just put it on and don't tell. And it really don't make themselves look good.
And maybe you all could be the ones who continue to set the example for the other ones. If more of you all got together and supported the uniforms and show how fly you could make it, the clothes don't make you. Maybe that's what it will take to change that, so that person feels like, well, maybe I need to straighten up and look better. Because it's about, instilling a sense of pride in your appearance. It's like and feeling good about yourself, being the best with whatever you have. It's not about how much money it costs, but just being mindful and just taking care of yourself. And this is all tied into, that approach and that respect for your education, how you approach it. It's like, we wear our Sunday best, whatever you have, as far as your best clothes when you go before the Lord. Things that are of importance, you should be in your best. Why not look good, nice and neat when you're getting ready to get that education? You want to be in a mindset of attentiveness and being ready to receive and to be open. And when you're just lounging around, relaxing in a pair of, seeing kids wear the pajama pants to school, that puts you in a different state of mind. Your clothes do affect how you respond to things. When you want to relax, you don't go and put on a three-piece suit. You go and put on something that's loose and comfortable. So that's how come anytime dress codes are in effect, because it helps to create a certain mindset. It helps. Not saying that that's the only thing, the physical clothing, but it helps to get you in that mindset. So, ladies, you are charged, and you too, Denzel. I know you're quiet on the phone, Mr. Fashionista. I want to see you guys make it fly and maybe change the tide in the school as far as the opinions of the uniforms. Maybe it's something that you all can add to the uniform to make it look even better. That's something to think about. What can you all do to make this something positive in your school? But you know what? We have a couple of minutes left, and I'm going to let you guys give about 30, 40 seconds of some last thoughts. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Damon.
I just want to say this: just be who you are, and just be. And this is always my motto: be who God called you to be, and just be the best and live the best, and you shall get the harvest of what God has in store for you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Denzel. Can you leave us with some words of wisdom, please?
At the end of the day, you're going to have society try to look out for the better look of younger generation and preparing them for corporate America. That's why they enforce uniforms to get us prepared. At the same time, going against it, of course, you have children who want to show, their characteristics through their clothes. In the end, I believe we all should come to a simple agreement to where everybody is happy. So, I believe that our education should hear the real voice of children to better cope together to design, to try to design a type of uniform that fits a student's natural characteristics. At the same time, it looks professional in the educational world.
All right. Ms. Nia Sherelle, we have about 60 seconds.
Sherelle, you can go.
Well, not just addressing the uniform, but just addressing school. Well, my words of wisdom is just like tips in school for just try to be the best student you can be. Try to adjust to your teachers and stop trying to think you right all the time, because most of the time we not right. So just let the adults be the adults and the children be the children, and let us do what we need to do in order to succeed.
All right. Ms. Nia, you have about 10 seconds.
Well, I would say that you will always have rules through your whole life, epiphanies and obstacles to go through, so you can always do your best at whatever you can, but always know that education is the key to success, knowledge.
All right. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week, the same time. You're listening to Breaking Chains. Have a good evening.